This is a review of the Vaer S3 Calendar Black Field Watch. Overall, the value is good, it's functional, but what I love most is the design. First off, the dial is gorgeous. The size and weight of numerals are well balanced. They're big, bold, and super legible, but not so big that they take away the attention from the hands. Likewise, the other text elements, like the Vaer word mark or the 5-minute numbers, don't compete with the 1 through 12. Even the minute and sub-minute ticks are nicely distinguishable. I love the font they used. I like the sharp, kind of stubby downstrike of the 1s and the semi-squished top section of the 3 and 8, and the 6 and 9 have a unique look. Now I gotta hand it to them. They did a good job with the hands. Going with the syringe style fits the traditional field watch look, and they're well proportioned. The hour and minute hands are easy to see and also easy to tell apart. The minute hand barrel doesn't obscure the numerals, and the needle extends just short of the ticks, making it easy enough to watch a minute pass without the second hand. And speaking of the second hand, that too is well balanced. The arrowhead at the end is far enough out that it doesn't visually interfere with the minute hand, while also just barely overlapping with the numerals. Interestingly, the larger version of this watch, which I also bought, has a similar second hand but with different proportions. Here, the needle beyond the arrow is a bit longer, and the counterbalance is quite a bit wider. Not sure why there's a difference, but I much prefer the thinner second hand on the smaller model, as I feel that the wider counterbalance draws too much attention away from the arrow head. Also, I noticed dots at the 2, 4, 8, and 10 positions. It's a design motif that Vaer includes in many of their watches, including their Atlas and Atlantic models. I really dig it. It's subtle enough that it's easily overlooked at first glance, but at the same time adds a bit of visual interest. It's not something I've seen done by any other watch brands and might be unique to Vaer watches. I would love to see them emphasize this motif even more. The case of the S3 feels traditional. I like how the sides of the case bulge out slightly and are more interesting than a straight or circular profile. The finishing on the case deserves discussion too. The bezel and case sides are brushed, while the chamfers and the lugs are polished, as is the vertical section on the outside of the bezel. This variation in the finishing is inconspicuous, but adds depth to the look. While I love the design of this watch, I also appreciate its quality. The sapphire crystal is still scratchless after 7 months of wear. The screw-down crown has proven watertight, and the quartz movement is surprisingly accurate. It's been within about a second per month. All that said, the watch is not perfect. The date is a bit off-center in the window, and sometimes the second hand hits roughly halfway between the marks. But considering that I got it from the pre-owned store for only $120, these minor imperfections are more than acceptable. So, all in all, the Vaer S3 Calendar Black has been great. It does everything I need a watch to do, and it looks good doing it.